Jacob.
And we're going for a drive. The updated 2025 Honda Civic Hybrid.
Without launch control.
Brake boost.
A little bit of tire squeal there.
Horsepower and torque.
200 horsepower, 232 pound-feet of torque from a 2-liter 4-cylinder hybrid.
So they updated the looks, and now we've got hybrid. The hatch and the sedan both look the same from the front now. And I guess what did they do to make it look different? Kind of give it like a fish mouth grill?
Yeah, so I think I criticized the previous generation of well, it's the same generation, the pre-refresh, of looking like a beluga whale. It no longer looks like a beluga whale. They smoothed out the beluga-ness of the forehead.
The forehead.
Yeah, and it looks really good now.
They added a GT3 fish mouth.
Yes, at the bottom it looks like a GT3, kind of if a GT3 was slightly paint matched.
And then they added like a little panel under the headlights, which also makes it kind of look like an R8.
And the headlight design has also been slightly changed with the LED DRLs.
Yeah, but it doesn't look like the tail lights or the back ends have really been changed at all.
Right, and the hatch is actually coming later, but we're currently driving the sedan, and these are available as non-hybrids as well, but the two top trims are mandatory hybrids.
And there's like one angle of the front bumper that kind of looks a little awkward, like it's kind of like a mouth coming out like too much, like ooh. So I'm gonna Photoshop that a little bit more.
So we're currently driving the Sport Touring Hybrid.
But the Canadian version, which has rear heated seats, which the Americans do not get. And shout out America, bringing us to Montreal.
Yeah, to Canada.
To our own country. I know you guys are doing F1 here. It's cool that we bumped into one of our subscriber fans in the hotel lobby.
We always make time for all of you subscribers, so thank you all for approaching us and asking for photos. We love you guys. Follow us on Instagram for details on where we are at all times. But yeah, so F1's happening. Yuri, any predictions for Formula One winner this weekend? Because we're filming this right before F1, but the video's coming out right after.
Lance Stroll wins
man,
it all.
Bold prediction. I'm gonna say Charles Leclerc, just because we maybe I've bumped into him in the past.
So this is the fastest Civic of all time?
Okay, so the most powerful Civic outside of the Type R, but the most powerful by torque.
Because the SI had same horsepower or more horsepower?
Yeah, so it's been around like 200 in the past. So
all right, I'm gonna put it into normal mode. We're cruising on the highway at a nice chill 47 miles per hour. And before I floor it, we happen to be on a interchange. So I'm gonna do some handling, all right?
Oh, here we go. Okay, so they did change the body rigidity, and we do notice it actually.
Bro, this feels solid as heck.
Yeah. This is really good.
Yeah, and what tires are we on?
The Continental recommended tire, which is the Pro Contact RX that we are currently driving on.
And Honda was very proud to have a lower rolling resistance tire, so
yeah.
Shout out your shirt.
Yeah, shout out my shirt, shout out Continental. And this top trim also gets a little bit of extra noise reduction because there's like a thing within the actual wheel itself.
Yeah, not the tire.
But it's only on the top trim, and it is actually really quiet in here, and we also have noise canceling, like active noise canceling in here. So they've done a lot to try and quiet this down, and not that it was a loud car, but it feels a lot more premium now.
Okay, I'm just gonna floor it.
That's good. A little bit of downshift lag.
Okay, it picks up more. There is something we gotta talk about with the engine, with its 2 inline electric motors, and something about a lack of transmission, which was confirmed, but we'll talk about that later.
Yes, but before we talk about that, Honda expects the hybrids, to be 40% of their sales. And through tsp.truecar.com, the Honda Civic is one of the top selling models.
I think it is the top selling model.
Yeah, so you guys have been buying Civics, and I don't see why you wouldn't be interested in buying this one. Discounted price offers, hit them up.
Hit up tsp.truecar.com. And the best part about driving this hybrid vehicle so far is that I have not noticed the brake pedal being weird. You know how for me, the weird brake pedal throws me off of hybrids?
Yep.
No issues. And this is not a plug-in hybrid. This is just a passive hybrid or whatever it is.
Just a regular old hybrid.
Regular old hybrids. We have some paddles.
Yes.
For Regen, I'm in normal mode, going like, I don't know. And I'm going to...
We're in miles per hour, but we're in Canada. Oh yeah, Makes a difference.
But you're not going to come to a full stop, and I don't think it's enough to really stop you in front of lights.
Yeah.
But it's not nearly as aggressive as an electric car would be.
No, not even close. It's very toned down. It's kind of it makes sense for what a Civic is, and if you got out of a regular Civic that wasn't a hybrid and you hopped into this, everything would make sense.
But I did notice that the throttle can be a little touchy sometimes.
Well, that's all that extra torque, Yuri.
Yeah, so if you want to make your ride smoother for all of your passengers, which you fit in the back seat, it's 6'1.5".
I do.
Because it's a Civic, you know, econ mode.
Yeah, I actually found that I also needed to put in econ mode because Honda really wanted the low end torque to be like right there from the bat because they have that crazy hybrid system that's like the dual motor built-in thing. So you do get the torque really, really low, but that also makes the throttle extremely touchy. So if you drive this thing in like sport mode, it's a little too touchy.
And apparently this has a reworked adaptive cruise lane centering. So let's test that out on this highway.
Yeah, we got out of the city traffic of Montreal.
Not that the last Civic wasn't like amazing for adaptive cruise and lane centering. This one feels as good, but they said they made it better.
Yeah, it's really good. And it's showing us an actual truck in front of us, not just like a random car. So it's accurate as well.
Yeah, and that truck's like super far away.
Yeah. It's working really well. It's not even bothering you.
It's not even bothering me. This is a pre-production unit there. It's bothering me.
Okay.
This is a pre-production unit.
Yes, prototype vehicle.
And it does have a cool new feature that we haven't mentioned yet. Built-in Google on the toppest trim.
Yes.
So it's more like the Accord is.
And that's also the way that the hybrid system works, like the Accord.
Except the motors are now inline instead of on other sides for smaller packaging for a Civic. And with that, I think it's time for you to drive.
All right, let's somehow get off this highway and
Let's just switch here.
All right.
I mean, I think I could do it.
I mean, legally.
Legally we couldn't, but
yeah, we could.
I mean, if this was Fear Factor, no chance,
yeah,
bro.
100% we could do it.
Okay, we got like 7 seconds of lane centering before he yells at us, right?
That's
so
good.
what we gotta do is we gotta move our seats back, and then click switch.
Actually, now that you
try not to
moved back,
bump the wheel.
I just noticed it says hybrid over here.
Yeah.
Interesting. Brake boost. You know what? You did a brake boost. I'm gonna not brake boost it. Still really good.
Yeah, that pulls really nicely.
Yeah, so they did a really good job of making the torque come in very low in the RPMs.
So even though that felt like it was switching gears and it was CVTing, this does not technically have a transmission.
Technically, no, in the traditional sense of a transmission.
The Honda people said the two electric motors, one of them acts as a transmission.
Yeah.
One is there to power the drive wheels, and one is there to collect energy, regen it, and send it to the battery. But it can also send it to the drive wheels.
Yes, which is the same setup. Sorry, slightly different than the Accord.
But feels the same.
Yes.
So it always feels like a generator.
And even though it's dual motor, it's sandwiched together, so it's only powering the front wheels. You can't get this in all-wheel drive.
Yeah.
Because usually when you hear dual motor, it's usually front axle, rear axle, but it's not in this case.
But like, would you really want an all-wheel drive Civic, or would you need one?
I wouldn't, but I could see people wanting one, and then for sales numbers, I'm sure it would help, at least in Canada.
Okay, so there is an all-wheel drive hybrid Corolla.
Exactly.
But I think the Honda people said, if you want an all-wheel drive hybrid, you're gonna go to CRV probably.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
Like all-wheel drive small sedans and hatchbacks kind of aren't really required.
Yeah, unless it's like sporty and fun, like a GR Corolla.
Yeah, or like a Golf R or whatever. So like, I get that as well, but yeah, you don't really need all-wheel drive and stuff like this. You just get yourself a really good set of winter tires, like the Viking Contact 7 or something like that, but we're far away from winter right now. It's very hot out here in Montreal. Okay, so this one, we're driving the top trim, so we do have a bunch of drive modes like we mentioned earlier. Econ, Normal, Sport, and Individual. And Individual is only available on this top trim, which is kind of weird that they did that, but I guess they have to make the top trim differentiate from the rest of the trims.
And with the top trim, so we've got Google built in.
Yep.
Hey Google, directions to Montreal Expo. That was a thing, right?
Yeah, like 67 or something.
Well, I don't know, man. I did directions to Toronto and it froze on me, pre-production.
I don't think Expo's a thing.
I don't know, man. I don't know anything in Montreal.
Please try again.
I got a thing in Montreal. Hey Google, Directions to Gilles Villeneuve Island.
Gilville Lane is 6 hours, 43 minutes from your location by car and light
Maybe it's because
traffic.
I'm trying to pronounce it in French.
Yeah,
Let me try again. Hey Google, directions to Gilles Villeneuve.
Circuit Gilles Villeneuve is 15 minutes
Hey!
from your location by car in moderate traffic.
It worked.
Yeah, so that's good that you can actually use that. But when I tried to do
Circuit
directions,
Gilles Villeneuve may be closed today.
when I tried to do directions to Toronto, it kind of froze on me. But this is pre-production, so I don't know because it's like a 5-hour drive. But you've got CarPlay there as well. And when you go to CarPlay, you can click this little thing on the top left to make it go in and out. So you can actually have your stuff on the left. So it feels like you're in CarPlay.
Yeah, it works really well. And then there's also Android Auto. And then this being the top trim with Google built in, we don't have Sirius XM. Oh, we do have Sirius XM.
No, we don't. We only have
we don't.
FM. It says
That's
you have
right.
HD radio, but you can't, I don't think, get Sirius XM on any of these anymore, just like they did with the Accord.
Okay.
So if you want Sirius XM, if you complain enough, they'll find a way to put it back in.
And then we have a normal backup camera, not the best resolution.
Yeah, they have not changed it in like 2 gens.
No. And then gauge cluster is full digital, not really customizable, but it does work pretty well.
Oh, go back?
Oh, which back?
I don't know.
Cancel. There.
Can you, I feel like I saw directions,
Yeah, you can do directions when you're using the built-in Google Maps.
but not when I'm using Google Maps in CarPlay.
Correct. I don't think CarPlay directions get transferred to this.
Okay, so what if I say directions to Gilles Villeneuve's track?
Circuit Gilles Villeneuve is 14 minutes from your location by car in moderate traffic.
Okay, let me figure out how to get to that. Why isn't
A
this?
quarter mile, keep right at the fork to continue on
Round
Auto Route
bar.
10 west. Follow
Ah.
signs
There we
Montreal,
go.
Centerville.
Okay, so it is working. And then all of our steering wheel controls, buttons, all that stuff seems to be the same. We do have the paddles which control regen on this particular
Like, start
model.
regenning, right? It's not that crazy.
No, but you can see it right, like
You can
detail.
see it, but it's like, it's
It's not that
it's
crazy.
so tame.
Yeah. But it is cool that it is a feature of this vehicle.
I guess it's not to scare people when they get into a hybrid Civic.
That's
Like,
what I'm saying.
What is this?
Yeah, and then these seats, very comfortable. I think they are unchanged, just like this whole center console.
Well, I think they said there's a new gray interior color.
Okay, but the seats themselves are unchanged.
The color.
Yes. These particular ones that we're sitting in are not.
No.
Cup holders fit a square bottle of, what is this? A water that comes in a box.
Water.
And then we have a wireless charger up there, USB-Cs. We have same physical controls that we've had in the previous Civic, and they didn't need to change it because it's all great. A little bit of gloss back up on the dash. We got that crazy vent that goes across the whole front of the vehicle, and overall it's basically the same in a good way.
I'm sure these will pass.
They have to.
3, 2, 1.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, and then trunk room. The hatch has a whole bunch of room. It's got that cool privacy thing that slides across. If you fold the seats down, it's going to be crazy. More room than the sedan.
Yep.
But from the side view, they look very similar. Except the hatch has a rear wiper, even though the glass is like the same shape.
Yeah, basically. And then I do want to talk about the suspension a little bit more now that we're getting back into the potholy roads of Montreal and cobblestones and all that stuff. It is really good. The improvements in the body rigidity, which I expected to possibly be a little bit too stiff, have actually made it feel just more solid but more comfortable because they also retuned the dampers for this all new refresh. So
Yeah,
big difference.
It looked great over the cobblestone roads and felt more solid than I thought it would.
Right, exactly. And not that the Civic was uncomfortable in the previous generation. It already felt great, and this is just even
they just
better.
keep making it better.
Yeah, so great job, Honda, because the chief engineer is here, and he, same guy that's done the S2000 with the good motor, that's what he liked to say, and he's also worked on the Civics for like many, many generations, including the Type R and all that fun stuff. So this guy likes fun cars, and he knows what he's doing. So congratulations, chief engineer, again.
Okay, colors. Do you like the red or do you like the blue?
I think I like the blue still.
Blue is the hatchback exclusive color, and then there's also a new sand color for hatchback only as well, which we haven't seen in person, but
Yeah,
that's probably the cool color to get, maybe.
we're assuming it's like a champagne kind of color.
Yeah, like old people gold.
Yes.
Give me that.
And the way that this powertrain works when you're just driving around normally, like you can't even tell it's really a hybrid if you don't think about it, or the CVT, or the way that the fake transmission is working. It's all pretty seamless. Like if I was to floor it right now, you get a boost of torque, and then it does feel like it's downshifting. So it's pretty authentic to like a normal car.
It feels perfectly normal.
Yeah.
This is something I would feel comfortable throwing anyone in and being like, just drive like normal. Like we have a normal shifter, like nothing's weird.
Exactly.
There's
If you didn't know it was a hybrid, you'd barely be able to tell. Other than the fuel economy, which we are putting on the screen right now, which is very, very good.
Yeah, that's probably like the biggest reason to get this.
Exactly.
And and there's really no downfall because it doesn't feel weird because it's a hybrid.
Exactly.
Okay, do you remember the CR-V hybrid, how it had that super, super loud, obnoxious hum when you'd put it in reverse?
Yeah, it sounds like a ghost.
Yeah, like that one was too loud. This one isn't as loud. I think it's okay. I still would like it to be quieter. So let's listen to that from the outside since we can't rev the car.
From the outside. All right, Yuri, I think that's it.
All right, with everything out of the way, I think it's time we get to the price.
This starts at $24,250.
American.
And the top trim, which we are driving, is $31,370.
American.
So obviously still pretty good pricing. They haven't really increased it in a crazy amount considering it's hybrids.
Yeah, like nothing to hate on.
Yeah, so great job on the new Civic. Thank you guys for watching our video and subscribing and taking photos with us as our subscribers.
Yeah, shout out people who take photos with us.
Yes.
For us or us with them.
Both ways.
Bye, guys.